Hey guys, what's up? Here's Max. In Dragon Ball Hakai, we meet a character called Kale, and that character is the metamorph fusion of kale and cauliflower. Kale almost fought God of Destruction Goku, but that fight didn't happen because Vados intervened. But what if the fight had happened? Would Kale have had any chance against Goku? Did Kale stand a chance against some God of Destruction? Let's talk about it in this video. Stay connected in the channel and let's go to the video. Hakai. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're a fan of Dragon Ball Hakai, an incredible story in which Goku becomes a god of destruction and lives many adventures as a Hakaishin. And if you like this story, you can support it through our Patreon for a very small amount. And supporting us, you will not only be helping Dragon Ball Hakai, but also receiving exclusive benefits here on the channel. To learn more, click on the link in the video description. In Chapter 6 of the Dragon Ball Hakai, we meet Kale, who, as I said, is a metamorph fusion of kale and cauliflower. Do not confuse Kale with Kefla. Kefla is the Potara fusion of kale and cauliflower. To simplify, comparing kale and cauliflower to Goku and Vegeta, Kefla is like Vegito, and Kale is like Gogeta. But anyway, what is Kale's power level? Is she stronger than Kefla? Yes, Kale is definitely stronger than Kefla. We can say this with certainty for two reasons. The first reason is that Kale gave her like on this video, and the second reason is that she subscribed here on this Hakai channel. It's true! Akira Toriyama once said in an interview that every time you leave your like on our videos, your fighting power increases by at least 10 times. And if you subscribe here on the channel, you become 1,000 times more powerful. And if you don't believe this, complain to Akira Toriyama. Well, besides those two reasons I mentioned now, Kale is more powerful than Kefla for two other reasons. The first reason is that since the Tournament of Power, Kale and Cauliflower have certainly trained a lot, especially Cauliflower, who is thirsty for power. So Kale and Cauliflower's base power has certainly increased, which means their fusion at the current moment is more powerful. And the second reason we can say that Cauliflower is stronger than Kefla is that Kale is able to transform into Super Saiyan 3, while Kefla only evolved to Super Saiyan 2 in the anime. That is, Kale in Dragon Ball Hakai is much more powerful than the more powerful version of Kefla, which is the version from Dragon Ball Super anime. Well, with all this we can already conclude that Kale is considerably more powerful than Kefla. But how powerful is she compared to the gods of destruction? Kefla's power is very different in the anime and manga, and while in the anime Kefla had a power level close to Goku's power with Ultra Instinct Omen, in the manga she was as strong as Gohan. That is, the difference in power is extremely large. Which of these two power scales is being used in Dragon Ball Hakai? We can't say for sure, but regardless of Kefla's power level, we can say that Kale could fight Goku using Ultra Instinct, and Kale was confident in fighting Goku. So we saw a fight between Kale and Goku in the Dragon Ball Hakai anime, and even though this version of the story isn't what we consider canonical, we can get a sense of her power level. And in this version, Kale was able to pressure Goku, which means that she could be at the level of a god of destruction, since Goku is among the top 5 most powerful Hakaishins according to Vados. In the Dragon Ball Hakai manga, when Kale and Goku were about to face each other, Goku was not yet among the 5 most powerful Hakaishins. In fact, he was still very limited by not being able to control his energy of destruction, and the level of power that he could use was even less than his final fight against Jiren in the Tournament of Power. Even limited, Goku was excited to fight Kale, even after feeling her power after transforming into Super Saiyan 3, which could mean that she was on the same level as him at that moment. And it's hard to say just because of that, as Goku would be excited to fight her even if she was more powerful. And probably she had more hidden power, as normally Saiyans increase power level while fighting instead of using maximum power at the beginning. Concluding this issue of Kale's power in the Dragon Ball Hakai manga, she has at least the power of Goku using the Ultra Instinct Omen in the Tournament of Power. That is, a power close to that of Jiren, but a lot lower. And the maximum power she can have is probably a little less than God of Destruction Goku's power after he became one of the 5 most powerful Hakaishins. I know there's a big difference between these two options, but it's possible for us to make some theories. In the battle that took place between the gods of destruction in the Dragon Ball Super manga, we could see that some gods were below average in power compared to others, The clearest example of this was Champa, who admitted that he hadn't trained in a long time and was too scared to face the other gods. In addition to Champa, some other gods also did not have good feats in the fight, such as Arak and Jin, for example. Contrary to what many people believe, in Dragon Ball Super, most of the gods of destruction do not have a power level much higher than Super Saiyan Blue. A proof of this is that Beerus said that Vegeta could be a good candidate for God of Destruction in other universes after a battle they had after the Zamasu arc. And that is, Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue, after Zamazu's arc, already had the ability to fight gods of destruction of some universes. So if we consider the power level of the gods of destruction in Dragon Ball Super, Kale would be more powerful than most of them, probably losing only to 1 or 2 Hakaishins. But in Dragon Ball Hakai, the destroyers are much more powerful than in Dragon Ball Super, since in Dragon Ball Hakai a concept called Energy of Destruction was added, which I explain much better in other videos. But speaking in a summarized way, it's an extra source of power that can greatly increase the level of the destroyers if they use it. In conclusion, if we compare Kale with the gods of destruction in Dragon Ball Super, she would certainly defeat almost all gods in her most powerful version, which is the Dragon Ball Hakai anime, and in the manga version she would also defeat almost all gods, as she was close to the level of Ultra Instinct, which is a level close to Jiren, and Jiren surpasses almost all gods of Dragon Ball Super, or maybe all of them. But if we compare Kale to the gods of destruction from Dragon Ball Hakai, who are considerably more powerful, she could defeat at most half of them in her most powerful version, which is the one from the anime of Dragon Ball Hakai. And in her version of the manga, it's a bit unclear, but maybe she could defeat very few of them, or maybe none of them. This is all theoretical, as we haven't seen yet how powerful the Hakaishins are in Dragon Ball Hakai, when they use their energy of destruction, and using that power, they can probably double their powers or even more. Since we don't know yet, we can only theorize according to everything we've seen and talked about, and I think that's the best theory. But of course, Kale can still greatly increase her power level during the Dragon Ball Hakai storyline, as she is the fusion of 2 very talented Saiyans. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. Do you like Kale? Do you think she would defeat any god of destruction? Can she defeat Goku someday? Comment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget your like and subscribe to the channel as we become 200,000 subscribers. Until the next time, bye-bye.